Unexpected teams that became champions. Back in 2013, Wigan Athletic were fighting for their lives at the bottom of the Premier League. Most people thought they were destined for relegation, but at the same time, they were also making a surprise run in the FA Cup, England's oldest and most famous knockout tournament. But what happened next is something nobody could have ever predicted. You see, Wigan started their cup run in the third round against AFC Bournemouth, and their performance was anything but convincing. They tied 1-1 and needed a replay to barely win 1-0 and advance by the skin of their teeth. Then, in the following round, they played Macclesfield Town, who they once again barely beat 1-0 by a Jordi Gomez penalty kick. And then finally in the fifth round, they had their first convincing win when they beat Huddersfield Town 4-1. But then they finally ran into a decent challenge. The thing is, they had to beat Everton away from home, which for a team like Wigan didn't seem like it was going to be a cakewalk, especially compared to some of their earlier opponents that they barely beat. But then Wigan went off by scoring 3 goals in just 4 minutes, sending themselves into the semi-final where they faced Millwall at Wembley and had a routine 2-0 win to punch their ticket to the final. But despite Wigan making the final, no one really gave them much of a shot to win. What I mean is that their journey to the final wasn't incredibly difficult, as they managed to avoid most of England's biggest clubs, and on top of that, Wigan had never even reached an FA Cup final before. Their squad was filled with players who had never played in a big final, and their opponents in the final were Manchester City, a team packed with superstars and one of the richest clubs in the world. Everyone expected City to win easily, especially since Wigan had just played Arsenal in the league 3 days before the final and lost, meaning they were getting relegated from the Premier League. But the final turned into one of the biggest surprises in English football history. As it turns out, Wigan's manager Roberto Martinez came up with a perfect plan. Wigan played with so much heart and energy, and their young winger Cal McManaman was causing all sorts of problems for Manchester City's defense. So he just could not find a way to get through Wigan's defense, and as the clock ticked towards full time, it was still 0-0. But what happened at the last minute is something fans will never forget. In the 91st minute, Wigan won a corner. Sean Maloney swung the ball in, and Ben Watson, who had just come back from a broken leg, jumped higher than everyone and headed the ball into the net, meaning Wigan had just scored a last-minute winner against one of the best teams in the world, making them the first team ever to win the FA Cup while getting relegated. Well, I post videos like this one every single day. Follow so the algorithm shows them to you.